Hey everybody, Jim here with another quick pickups video for you guys. So let's get right into it. Got a lot of games this past couple of weeks, so let's check it out. First up, I was happy to find this copy of Star Wars for the Famicom. I wanted to play this since I saw that AVG episodes on Star Wars games. Yes, Darth Vader turns into a scorpion. I don't know. It's pretty fun to play. Next up, Tiny Toon Adventures. Fun game as well. Very much like Mario Brothers 3, but you can have a handful of characters with different unique abilities. You got Buster, Plucky, I believe Dizzy Devil, and Furball. Fun game. This game here, Hinotori. I really don't know how to describe this game. It is a side-scrolling action platformer, but you hit people with this thing, this nondescript thing that turns them into blocks, and well, anyway, Hinotori, Famicom. 3 Megadrive games here. I got 2 shooters. This is a XDR, which is a very mediocre shooter. Side-scrolling, another side-scrolling shooter. This is Whip Rush. I also found it to be quite mediocre, but there it is. And a copy of Psy Blade, which I thought was going to be potentially an action game, just judging by the cover and the title, but it's like a point-and-click snooze fest. So there we go, some Mega Drive and Famicom loose carts. Alright, check this out. You saw last time I got that cool little Zelda 2 homemade cover. I finally got myself a complete copy of Zelda 2, so I'm very happy with that. And the booklet, awesome, still comes with stickers, lots of Zelda 2 stickers for putting on the disc and what have you. Zelda 2, awesome. Also got a copy of Castlevania 2, which here is actually called Dracula 2. I don't know, it's just the first one's called Akumajo Dracula, and this one's just called Dracula 2. Don't really get that, but Castlevania 2, it's a classic. Next up, really happy to find this. It's Rockman 3, complete in box. So all I need now to complete my original Rockman series CIB collection is the original Rockman, and I'll have all of them. Awesome. Next up, these 2 games I'm going to jump together. It's Go-Go Akman and Go-Go Akman 2. These games, the art direction is by Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball and art director for the Dragon Quest games. Fun side-scrolling action game where you're a little demon guy who looks a lot like Trunks from Dragon Ball, and you're fighting off, cherubs and angels. The bad guys are basically all these angelic type creatures, and you're this kind of mischievous-looking little guy, little demon dude. This one picked up today actually, and it wasn't cheap. It's a copy of Final Fight Tough. This game is Final Fight 3 in the United States, and it's exceptionally rare here, I'm guessing, because anytime I've ever seen it, which is very few and far between, it was a lot. I found this in hard off today in a glass case, and it wasn't cheap, but it was cheaper than what I had seen it for in the past, so I felt pretty happy with that. Next up, got 2 Turtles games here. First, I got Turtles: The Return of the Shredder. You guys probably know it best as the Hyperstone Heist. And then I also got Turtles Tournament Fighters, which is okay, not as good as the Super NES version in my opinion, but still okay. It's got me 2 Turtles games, and I love being a turtle. Don't you? Next up, 2 more Mega Drive games. Got a copy of Shadow Dancer, one of the games in the Shinobi series, and while it's good, I don't like it as much as the other offerings on the Mega Drive. Mainly because this one, you get hit once and you die. You don't have a life bar. Not so cool. This game I got as part of a trade with Mr. Ed T 1138. It's Street Fighter 2 Plus, the Champion Edition for Mega Drive. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. A solid entry into, well, what entry? It's Street Fighter 2. Never mind that. Yeah, Street Fighter 2, Mega Drive. Ed, thank you so much. And moving on, DS. Dragon Quest 9. I have yet to start playing this game. I've played all the other Dragon Quest games, so thought it was about time I got my hands on this one. Looking forward to playing that. Next up, IQ Final, the sequel to Intelligent Cube. Plays a lot like the last one, except the cubes do some pretty unexpected things. Ridge Racer, another one of the early Ridge Racer games. I like the Ridge Racer games. R4 is my favorite. Next up, this is Rockin' Riders. It's a kind of a snowboarding game, and you'll do city streets and all that kind of stuff. And there's also like a music room and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Rockin' Riders, and the characters are modeled after actual Japanese rock musicians. Next up, Gundam, the Battle Master, or Masters. It's a 2D Gundam fighting game with Gundams that I'm not very familiar with. I haven't seen them in any of the series, I don't think, so they might be exclusive to this game. Next up, awesome RPG, Tales of Eternia. This game came out in the United States as, I believe, Tales of Destiny 2. Just a good Tales game. They're all good. Battle systems are always more or less the same, but they're good games. Got myself another copy of Brave Fencer Musashiden. My other one was wrecked. Didn't know that when I bought it, but it was fudged up. So I got this one here, complete, and it's in good shape, and I'm very happy with that. Next up, got a copy of Final Fantasy VII International. This comes with, it's basically the exact same thing as the original release, but it does come with this extra disc. It's the Final Fantasy VII, is it Ultimate or Perfect? Perfect Guide. It's essentially a Final Fantasy VII strategy guide on disc, which is pretty cool. So, Final Fantasy VII International. Next up, what do we got here? Oh, something good, some Capcom goodness. Got a copy of Vampire, what's the subtitle? The Night Warriors. This is the very first Darkstalkers game, and I'm happy to have it. What else I got? There's like a handful of Darkstalkers games. This was the first one, and they're all good. I really like the Darkstalkers games. Next up, also by Capcom, Biohazard, the Director's Cut. This features the, I believe, arrange mode and some kind of beginner mode, what have you. Just a few things added in from the original, but it's a Biohazard Director's Cut. Pretty cool. And then I went ahead and got Biohazard Director's Cut Dual Shock Edition, which I haven't actually got around to playing it yet, but if memory serves me correctly, there would be, and I know they're Rumble enabled, which is, you know, who gives a shit, but I think a few more added options in there. Yeah. A lot of versions of Resident Evil, I don't know why. Next up, let me read the title properly. It's Jaseikin Necromancer for the PC Engine, HuCard, and it's a turn-based RPG, kind of the same vein as Dragon Quest. And 3 games for the Neo Geo CD. I got Quiz King of Fighters, which is a quiz game where you ask questions, and the more questions you answer correctly, the more ass you kick. So, yeah, Quiz King of Fighters. So, Double Dragon, the 2D fighter, loosely based on the film, which was, you know, everybody knows. Well, not everybody, but if you've seen the movie, you know it's a piece of shit. This game actually is not so bad. It's a decent 2D fighter developed by Sunsoft, so not so bad. And Galaxy Fight, which is another 2D fighter, but the characters have kind of like a quasi 3D look to them. It's not horrible, but it's not that great either. Galaxy Fight, Neo Geo CD. And next up, got a handful of games for the Saturn. All 3 of these games are Gundam side story games. It's 1, 2, and 3, and they're all play pretty much the exact same. It's basically a first-person shooter mech game, and I think you could play it with the same kind of joystick controller that you could play Mech Warrior with. stuff like that. So they're not so bad. Next up, the original House of the Dead. Pretty cool. I actually don't have a gun con for the Saturn right now, but as soon as I get one, I'm going to be playing this, and hopefully I'll be able to pick up some Virtua Cop. That would be cool, or Time Crisis. Those are all good. Next up, Jocular Detective, and then a whole bunch of stuff I don't feel like reading right now. This game is kind of, I guess, detective style game on a big Zeppelin. You're these cops from the future, but they have time traveling abilities, so they're now like time detectives, and you're going back in time, I guess, trying to unravel a mystery about Dracula. But I played it a while and thought it was pretty boring, but I don't know. Interesting. Next up, Puzzle Bobble 3. Puzzle Bobble games are always awesome. I especially like the one on PS2. I think it was called Super Bust-A-Move. Puzzle Bobble. Not a lot to say, just a really good puzzle game. Next up, and let me get the correct title is, it's Battle Arena Toshinden S, which is just the Saturn version of Battle Arena Toshinden, basically. When I was a kid, Battle Arena Toshinden was one of the first games I played for the PlayStation. At the time, it was impressive, but going back and playing it now, they are not so great. They haven't aged well. Next up, Albert Odyssey, another turn-based RPG. This one developed by Sunsoft. Not so bad, kind of typical, but I don't know, fun enough, I guess. What else do we got? We have a copy of Shining Wisdom, which is a, I guess you could say, more of a action RPG, an action-adventure title. It's not bad. It reminds me a lot of Newtopia, well, yeah, even though Newtopia is kind of a rip-off of Zelda, this reminds me more of Newtopia than it does Zelda for some reason. So it's okay, it's not great. That's Shining Wisdom. Next up, and let me read this because it is a dumb name. Oh, it's Livery. Oh, come on. It's, well, who gives a shit? It's Linkle Liver, or Liver Linkle or something. It's a stupid name. Linkle Liver Story. I finally got it out. Linkle Liver Story. What the fuck? It's a really stupid title. The game is kind of a top-down action-adventure game, again, kind of Zelda-esque. It's colorful, it's pretty fun, but it doesn't really knock my socks off, and it has a terrible, terrible title. Linkle Liver Story. I knew I would eventually get that out there. And this game, finally, this game is pretty cool. I've been enjoying it. It's Magic Knight Rayearth. If I'm not mistaken, this was the last game to be released for the Sega Saturn in the States. I like it. I like the, let's go ahead and show you what I got here. It comes with a kind of a little art book, disc, a little cardboard sleeve. I like it. I like the gameplay. You can switch between 3 characters. They all have different attack styles, different magic and things like that. So just by tapping the L and R buttons, you can swap between the 3, and it's pretty fun. You're upgrading all 3 characters at the same time. The only complaint I have so far about this game is it starts out very, very slow. I sat through over an hour of cutscenes and dialogue before I got to some gameplay. So it's a very slow start, but once you actually get to the gameplay, it is very fun. Very fun action RPG, Magic Knight Rayearth. And it's available in the United States, so if you get a chance, check it out. Pretty good. And that will do it for this pickups video. Next vid will be my 100th video, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Nothing really that special. Probably just mention a few people, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. Also, Tokyo Game Show is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be meeting up with some other YouTubers there. Anybody who happens to watch this video, if you're also going, to shoot me a PM. We'd love to see you there. I'm actually going to be buying a brand new camera specifically for this event. New HD, awesome camera with good stuff, not this piece of shit. Although I'll be bringing this piece of shit with me too, for taking still shots. But anyway, that's it. Everybody, until next time, please take care of your games and each other. See you next time.